While so many industries struggled during the pandemic, the CBD industry grew over 30%. Welcome to Wakana. We offer natural and organically grown CBD products backed by our 30-day bottom-of-the-bottle guarantee. Our proprietary blends contain more than 15 essential oils like black seed and turmeric, which help in creating the ultimate entourage effect. We provide a certificate of analysis on all of our CBD-infused products. These tests are conducted by one of the top ISO labs in Florida to ensure quality and potency inside of every batch. We're one of the few companies in the world who conduct full panel testing to confirm our ingestible products are free of pesticides, mold, and other dangerous compounds. The foundation of Wakana is based on 4 pillars, including health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. According to the current CBD market, there is a tremendous opportunity for you to launch your own dispensary with Wakana. You can retail products online, earning from 20 to 50% of the commissionable volume. By launching an online dispensary, you can win the loyalty of your customers by offering the hottest products like edibles, flower, hair care, tinctures, and topicals. Wakana isn't just a company. We are a movement. During the pandemic, we grew over 100% and expanded our headquarters from 1,000 to over 5,500 square feet. We have over 10,000 customers and a 5-star online rating from our satisfied customers and distributors. So what are you waiting for? Start partnering with one of the fastest growing and most reputable CBD companies in the world. Wakana, the crown jewel of CBD.
It just made sense to me. It was more so about teaching people a more natural way to be healthy.
We had the opportunity not only to just get the 40 acres, but also get the mule.
In the waters where the sharks and piranhas swim. Remember, couldn't see the sky, I was kind of dim. I never broke, I ain't got that kind of skin. They never should, back for the crown again, royalty. If you got the time, we're gonna talk about loyalty.
I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis at age 17, and now at age 51, I'm finally getting the relief that I need from my arthritis without all of the side effects.
I have witnessed thousands of people overcome so many challenges, chronic long-term challenges that they've not been able to really overcome with traditional pharmaceutical medication.
I went and played golf this year, and normally when I play for the first time after 18 holes, I'm really sore. I took my Impranium in the morning. I used some of the pain cream, on my knees, and it's like I hadn't played at all.
Well, Wakana isn't just a company, even though you can say it is a company, but we really formed this from the beginning to be a movement. We knew that the cannabis industry really had not catered to those who, unfortunately, were the victims of the war on drugs, and that was minorities, African Americans. And so in starting Wakana, it was really giving birth to an idea that we as African Americans, we as minorities, we as Black and brown people could absolutely play a big role in this. So we see this as a company, a movement that will absolutely revolutionize and change the cannabis industry and help impact minorities all around the world.
So as you can see there, Wakana is much more than a company. We actually are a movement with a vision to help end the negative stigma that's caused communities around the world to suffer and to lose out on the health and the wealth benefits of the cannabis plant. In fact, our mission is to be a catalyst to stir that movement so that people are inspired to become whatever they choose to be, whether it's an entrepreneur, formulator, an investor, evoking the courage and strength of people to take back their health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. These are the four co-founders of Wakana. These ladies came together with their shared foundational values and their synergistic efforts, forming Wakana to be the crown jewel of CBD and continuing to expand in having more health, wealth, legacy, and freedom for everyone. Dr. Rita J. McGuire, as I mentioned to you, is a OB-GYN with over 30 years of experience. She's become a cannabis expert and she is a trichologist trainer. Her expertise was even sought after by the Illinois legislature as they were beginning to pass adult use cannabis laws there in Illinois. She represents our health pillar and is our chief medical officer. Dr. Patricia Van Pelt is a third-time state senator. She represents us as our president and our wealth pillar. She has a wonderful wealth story coming from humble beginnings, moving into public service, and then culminating in the political arena where she is making change, positive change everywhere. Melissa Boston is the visionary behind Wakana. She's our CEO and she's the legacy pillar with over 30 years experience herself in marketing. She actually left the corporate world to go in and grab her time freedom back. She was able to create that legacy of living on your own time in the home-based business arena, attracting teams in over 46 countries, and just really bringing Wakana to fruition through an awesome vision. Phyllis Nash is our chief sales officer and our freedom pillar. She too has over 30 years of experience in both traditional and in the home-based business arena. She's been successful in both and even teaching people how to follow in her footsteps. In fact, we call her the midwife of Wakana because her nurturing and guidance has helped lead us to all the possibilities that we're pregnant with. Now, heading up our medical advisory board is Dr. Rita J. McGuire. She has an advisory board that is comprised of professionals that span the profession in different areas. Chiropractors, nurse practitioners, RNs, other physicians, PharmDs, psychiatrists, psychologists, and what's great about these professionals is that not only do they use Wakana and products to affect change in their lives, but they also recommend these products to their customers. With that said, I'm going to bring up Dr. Rita McGuire because she's going to talk more about how these products are going to help affect change in your life. Again, this woman is a mentor to many people. She's actually a diamond in our company, which means that she understands the business side as well as the health side. And so without any further ado, I want to bring on Dr. Rita McGuire.
Well, thank you so much, Kathy. I want to welcome all of our guests, all of our business partners. We are going to really delve into what CBD is, our product line, but we want to highlight something today, and that's stress. How does stress affect our body, and specifically, how does stress affect our hair? Why does it cause hair loss? So we all know that when there is stress, it can affect different parts, our joints, our heart, our immune system, our digestive tract, our reproductive organs, our lungs, our muscles. But also, stress affects our hair. Now, the hair may be something that you may not notice initially because stress has cause joint pain or muscle pain, or your immune system to be depressed. But just know that there are certain disease states that are stressors that affect your hair. So there's acute stress, there's that episodic stress, there's that chronic stress. No matter what type of stress it is, it can affect hair loss. And typically, when you have acute or episodic stress, episodes of stress, it typically can cause hair loss that's reversible. But sometimes that chronic long-term stress can be not a reversible process when it comes to hair loss. So let's talk about some of the stresses medically that can cause hair loss. One is nutritional deficient diet. We all know that our diet, the Western diet, the normal diet, as they really try to push on us, has a lot of nutrients that are deficient that our hair specifically needs. A diet can be deficient because it's too few and a diet can be deficient because it is, I'm sorry, I'm playing with these AirPods.
Dr. Rita?
Yeah, let's do this. Let me turn off my AirPods. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. My AirPods were going off, so the sound was going through the AirPods. So my apologies. So I was talking about nutritional deficiencies in our diet that can cause hair loss. That is a stress. When we have too few calories, we have too little proteins, when we have vitamins that we're deficient on, like vitamin C and E and D and A and K, where we're low in iron, if you're menstruating and you have heavy periods and you're low in iron, or not enough biotin, which the hair absolutely needs, along with protein, because the hair is made of protein, and even zinc. All of these different variations of nutritional deficiencies can cause hair loss. And that's why here at Wakana, we're really, really focused in on helping those to understand that a plant-based diet is something that you want to embrace, not only for your health and your body, but also the most important part of your body, the skin, the largest organ, and your hair. When we look at thyroid disease is another condition that many, many women are suffering from. I'm seeing more and more women suffer from either hypo, a low working thyroid gland, or a hyperthyroid, an overacting thyroid gland. In any case, the thyroid hormones are very important in hair growth. They're important in growth overall. And when you have too little or too much thyroid hormone, it can cause hair loss. The deficiency is iodine. Iodine plays a big role in thyroid disease, and many women and men have thyroid issues, be it Hashimoto's disorder or any of the other hypo or hyperthyroid like Graves' disease. But guess what? Again, it is a nutritional deficiency in iodine that needs to be replaced. And then there's chronic stress. There's that long-term stress from many long-term medical conditions like hypertension, heart disease, diabetes. The big one out there is now COVID, right? The stress of even the COVID infection is causing hair loss. So stress, we think of stress of affecting different parts of our body, but today I want you to really understand that stress, nutritional, medical, can cause hair loss because the body is deficient and needs replacement of those either hormones either vitamins or even just a better diet. And speaking of diet and speaking of iodine, you know, a lot of folks think that people like me that are vegan don't get enough nutrients. They don't get enough protein. They don't get enough iodine. But just here is an example of something I ate for lunch. It's called a no fish, tuna fish sandwich. Yeah, it's no fish. It's using carrots and seaweed or sea vegetables and onions and peppers, green peppers, all of that mixed together with romaine lettuce, with Ezekiel bread, which is all raw vegan foods that gives you all the nutrients and vitamins, are also very, very good for your hair. So just because you're not eating meat doesn't mean that you can't fortify and fuel your body as well as your hair. So if you have medical conditions, yes, they are stressing your hair. That's why we see folks who have hypertension, heart disease, thyroid disease, lupus, fibromyalgia. I can go on and on and on. They all have issues with hair thinning, hair loss, and even alopecia. So let's really correct those things. We can correct those things with our amazing product line. We can correct those things with our lifestyle that we live here at Wakana, our flat belly lifestyle, our plant-based lifestyle, so that we can get your hair back to normal. So I'm going to bring up our trichologist, which is Doris Mosley, our VP of our hair division. There are other stressors on the body, not just medical conditions, but there are things that we are absolutely doing to our hair that can stress the hair out even more. So Doris, you can take it away.
Wow, awesome, Dr. Rita. I'm sitting here just taking notes and just learning. And I'm going to say to everybody that's on this line, that was on the line last week, you guys didn't do your homework. So that's the first thing. When you come to class, you got to have your homework. Your homework was to bring somebody to class with you. So I'm looking at the numbers here, and I don't see what I'm excited about, because you know, I don't think you brought somebody to class. If this is your first time, then you're not a part of this. But Dr. Rita, I am so excited, and I just want everybody to be on board, because what you just shared with us, coupled with what I'm getting ready to share, you shared what happens under the skin and what could be happening when it come above. But if all of this is going on in a negative below, when it comes above, when you get above to the hair shaft, then it's going to be even worse, because what we do, I'm a cosmetologist first, and a lot of this I didn't know years ago. If I had known years ago, I would not have done a lot of things that I did to the hair, because it was very stressful on the hair, and it still is if it's being done. And let's start with chemical straighteners. Chemical straighteners, we have different catalysts that's in the product to get into the hair shaft, and most chemical straighteners are, and very popular, it's the sodium hydroxide. Those are your relaxers. That's what most relaxers have. And what happened is, as we relax that hair, we are definitely taking away some of the protein. We are opening up the shaft. We're rearranging the bonds that are in the second layer of hair, you guys. This is what happens when it comes above, if you're putting relaxers on the hair. And that sodium is getting around that follicle, and that is causing nutrients to be destroyed. Now, if the nutrients are being destroyed over a period of time, you will have hair loss, and you will lose some of the density, meaning that you will lose some of the thickness of the hair, and the strand will weaken. This is what happened. And a lot of time we're overlapping. And what happens is the hair feels like mush when wet and like a cactus when dry. So we're taking a lot of the nutrients away. Now, the one thing, and I'll share with you the product line afterwards, because Wakana came up with a system that is going to help bring that hair from a negative into a positive. And that's what we want. But just know that when you are getting a relaxer, if you're not a stylist on the line, and I know stylists know this, but if you're not a stylist, when you're getting a relaxer, although the relaxer was made or formulated to straighten the hair, it was also scalp friendly. But if you're putting it directly on the scalp, guess what's happening? The same thing that is happening to the hair is happening to the scalp. You're pre-softening the hair. And a lot of people use the term, we're breaking it down. No, I don't want you to use that term anymore. Breaking down is a negative. We're pre-softening the hair as well as pre-softening the scalp, because hair is an appendage of skin. That's why it is so important that we stay away from the scalp while we're applying to the hair, and try to follow manufacturer's directions. But if it happens before, if it says 20 minutes and if it's happening 10, what you get your desired straightener, get it off, rinse it off. So let's stay away from the scalp as much as we can, because we don't want to get into the follicle and deposit those sodium hydroxide traits, which is nothing but a controlled amount of lye. That's all it is. And you should know the next time you go to your stylist, or if you're a stylist on the line, find out what where your relaxer fit on the pH scale. And you say, what is pH, Doris? It's the potential of hydrogen. It measures how much alkaline is in a product or how much acid in a product. And hair is on the acid side. Relaxer is on the alkaline side. So you should kind of stay in the 11. If you look up the pH scale, try to stay around 11. And then you want to know how much sodium is, what's percentage of sodium is in that relaxer. It should be no more than 2% or less. But if you got more than that, it's a little too much. So just check it out. If you're on the line, if you're not a stylist, check it out. And if you are a stylist, you should already know. Then we go into color. When you're coloring the hair, that's another stressful thing on the hair. When you're doing hair color, what it does, it takes that hair, keratin, which is what hair is made of. That's a protein. It's made of protein and moisture, and it definitely takes it from an A and keratin to a B. So you don't want to deplete your protein if you could, but permanent hair colors, semi-permanent hair colors, it definitely depletes that hair of some of its protein, and it could cause drying, and you don't want to dry out your hair. You don't want, I know color, you know, you're excited about color, semi-permanent, temporary colors, it just coats the shaft. It does not break into the cuticle. Then you have your permanent color, which definitely goes into the cuticle. And then you have a semi-permanent color that goes into, slightly raises the cuticle. So anytime you go and tamper with the cuticle, it's definitely stress on the hair, okay? Then of course we have heat. We have the thermal texturizer. We have the tools that we use. We use the flat irons. We use a pressing comb. We use a blow dryer. We use a hooded dryer. That is stressing on the shaft once it comes above the scalp. Heat can change the makeup of the hair, the type of hair you're dealing with. It can change it. It can make that hair where it will not return to its natural curl or natural texture by putting heat, constantly putting heat on the hair, especially when you're using flat irons, because when you close that flat iron down, there's no air going in there. It's just straight heat. And if that flat iron, it says 450, if you got it all the way to its maximum, that's how much it's getting. And every week, if you're doing blow drying, pressing, flat iron, curling, that's 4 different heats at that time on the hair. And it's going to change. You won't be able to get your natural curl from ends to scalp, and that's what you should be able to get, even though you may be using heat. So Wakana came up with our system, and I am so happy to have this system in my salon now, because it's making a difference. It's making a difference. And the disclaimer, we can read it while I read it, but it says the statement made regarding this product, these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The efficacy of these products has not been confirmed by FDA approved research. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All information presented here is not meant as a substitute for or alternative or information from healthcare practitioners. Please consult your healthcare professionals about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product. The Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act requires this notice. And this is just a disclaimer. And I always tell my customer the same thing. I am not a doctor. I do not diagnose. I can only share with you what others are telling me. And we have CBD in all of the hair care system. And as Dr. Rita always talked about CBD, it helps bring the body back to balance. And when we need our hair to be put back into balance, we go back to the product, our hair care system.
And Doris, I just want to interject a couple of things before we get to our products, if you don't mind.
I certainly will.
Wonderful. So CBD is an abbreviation for cannabidiol. And what happens when we talk about the skin, we talk about the scalp, we really want to reduce inflammation. We want to reduce the bacterial growth. And that is something that also can be a stress on the hair follicle. And if you don't have a healthy scalp, you don't have a healthy follicle. So when we look at CBD, we know that CBD works in the body by the endocannabinoid system. And that's important because there are receptors on the skin that when we utilize our product line, we understand now that this system, this vital regulatory system, puts not only the body in balance, but helps to address the inflammation and the bacterial overgrowth that causes hair loss and hair thinning. So those are the CB1 and CB2 receptors. And yes, they're found on the skin. They're actually found where the follicle is, as you can see in this diagram. There's CB1 receptors within the follicle. There's CB2 receptors within the entire anatomy of the skin makeup, the hair follicle makeup. You can see the blood vessels, the nutrients that are important to get to the follicle, but just know that CBD reduces inflammation. It is bacterial static, reduces the bacterial growth, and really does help our hair to be in the best version that it can be in. And so with CBD being a very powerful anti-inflammatory, it also has other benefits for the hair. It contains magnesium. It's rich in calcium. It reduces hair loss. It maintains a healthy scalp. It's overall very relaxing. It contains potassium. It contains fatty acids. It's rich in vitamin E. And again, other amino acids, as well as being an anti-inflammatory. So now I'm going to bring back Doris to talk about our SOS, our Save Our Strand system, which makes up our shampoo, our moisturizing conditioner, our leave-in detangler, our styling cream, our hemp-powered hair, and our beard and scalp. All of these products contain CBD. All of these products are addressing all of the benefits that I just talked about, which are very, very beneficial for the skin, for the scalp, and for the hair itself.
And Dr. Rita, I think by people now learning more and more about CBD, they're getting I'm finding them to get a little more relaxed about the fact that we do have it in our line. We are concerned about hair loss and restoring the hair. So they're getting a little more relaxed because the hemp-powered hair promotes healthy hair and natural shine, natural way of strengthening and healing damaged hair follicles due to hormonal traction and androgenetic alopecia, reduces a breakage and thickness of edges. Now, remember, alopecia is the medical term for baldness. So know that it is not something in a foreign country. It is the medical term for baldness. And we have some of the awesome ingredients in our hemp-powered hair, all natural. There is no carcinogenic ingredients in our product, and they all points out what it can do for the body. So we have the cannabis sativa, we have virgin olive oil, black seed oil. Black seed oil is one of the oils that keeps the scalp from being itchy. You know, a lot of people suffer from dry, itchy scalp. So the black seed oil, that's one of the roles that it plays in the hemp powered hair. Then we have hemp oil, as Dr. Rita talked about, CBD. We have that. It brings the body. The follicles are looking for the oil, but you got to have a clean pore to make sure it's getting in there. And then the baobab oil. Baobab is from a tree of life out of Africa, and that is amazing. That's what they call it because it's overall health. Pumpkin seed oil. You hear Dr. Rita talk about inflammation. It helps get rid of inflammation. And like I said again, these oils are so awesome because they definitely target what's going on around that follicle. Rosemary oil, that's another one that I can point out to you, help get rid of and protects you from DHT. DHT is very real, you guys. It goes in there and chokes out the nutrients from the follicle. So you want to protect that follicle because the follicle is what houses the strand. Moringa oil, that's another oil which deals with the health of the body. Wild salmon oil is an oil that gives strength and gives shine to the hair. So we need that. The peppermint oil, that is one of my favorites because it is very stimulating to the blood circulation, which the blood is what gives the follicle the nourishment. Once you start losing blood supply to the follicle, you start losing that strand. Cinnamon oil is another oil, and that oil helps with those free radicals. You know, you got those crazy free radicals just running around taking over the body. Well, the cinnamon oil helps get rid of that. And of course, lemon oil is an antiseptic. It helps cleanse that shaft. And that's what we need to do. We need to cleanse the shaft to make sure that we bring out the natural shine to the hair and not conditioning over conditioners. Then we have the system. You know, our CEO of the company is so amazing. I said to her, we need a system. We need a system that would cleanse, restore. We need a system that would give shine, all of that. And we came with the SOS system, which is made with essential oils, which is our renewing shampoo. You got to have an awesome shampoo to do what we need to do. And CBD to help invigorate the mind, body, and soul while leaving the hair clean, soft, and refreshed. And you have to know that shampoo, you don't need a lot. You've seen me demonstrate it live. You don't need a lot, but you do need one that's going to cleanse that hair shaft and allow you to condition the strands and not condition over conditioner. As you see, it helps clarify scalp and remove buildup of oils that can hinder hair growth. Great for all hair types and textures. And remember what I shared with you about types. You have different types of hair. You have straight, wavy, curly, kinky, overly curly, and you also have textures. Textures are simpler, fine, medium, coarse. That's important. We don't have any carcinogenic ingredients in our products. Vegan, we have no added phthalates or parabens. Those are some of the carcinogenic things that could be happening in ingredients. And the main ingredients is what? Rosemary oil, provitamin B5, hydrolyzed wheat protein is what the hair is made of. It's made of protein. So we want to make sure we give back to the hair what could be happening when those three things we mentioned, relaxers, color, heat. We got to make sure we restore that. And we have our moisturizing conditioner, which is amazing. And before you put the conditioner on the hair, make sure you towel dry the hair so the hair will get the full effect of the conditioner. It's a complete conditioner specifically intended to help rehydrate and moisture all hair types and textures. To rehydrate, meaning that you're putting back in moisture that have been taken out. Keep in mind, if you're relaxing your hair, if you are coloring your hair or if you're putting heat on your hair, you are definitely have that hair under stress. Now, I recommend you use our SOS system, because the thing about it, and I don't recommend you cross the system. I tell people when they buy the system, if you're going to use it, use only the system. If you're not going to use only the system, please don't bother, because you won't know what is going to be happening. You don't know what's working. We have CBD in it also. Organic juices, essential oils, and vitamins to strengthen, meaning to give strength. When something has strength, it's hard to break it. And soften hair locks and positive replenishment, leaving hair with a soft, shiny, luxurious glow. And that's what you look. You want to look at the hair and say, wow, that is amazing. And that's what you want. And we have what it takes to make this happen. And we're not going to go through all of the rest of the ingredients, Dr. Rita. We can just move along for time's sake. Leave-in detanglers. Oh my goodness. This is one of my babies right here, because we take down weaves that been up for 8 weeks. We take down braids that's been up. And I always say, when you take it down, although it's a leave-in after the conditioner and the shampoo, but what I do when I take those kind of stationary styles down, I spray it with my leave-in, because it helps me comb the hair out. It packs with soothing, nourishing ingredients for strong and conditioned hair. Leaves hair with a benefit, shiny bounce, great for all hair types and textures. But I spray it on there real good, and I comb out, because you shed anywhere from 50 to 100 strands a day. Even though you may have had those stationary styles up, you still shedding. It just didn't get out. So what I do, I spray the hair, and my daughter, we work together. I spray the hair with the leave-in detangler, and then I comb it out from ends to scalp to get all of that hair that would have shedded out through the wind, through the combing, through the brushing, that didn't get out. Because if you wet that hair before you do that, now that hair is tangled all inside, and you're going to cause more breakage. You're going to snap, crackle, pop that hair off, trying to get that hair out. So I comb it all out really good with my detangler. Then I go through the shampoo, conditioner process, and then I detangle again. Amazing, Dr. Rita, how that works, you and Kathy. Well, Kathy knows, and I know Dr. Rita knows, but it's amazing, you guys. If you're on the line here, please put the system in your daily or weekly regimen. The styling cream.
I just want to add, Doris, you're reading my mind, because last week I think you felt what was going on in Chicago, and that was I had a little matting of my hair because I was wearing that wig. I was working out so much, and I had some matting, and I'm telling you, the leave-in detangler took that matting right out, and no issues at all. It was very easy. So this truly works from a personal standpoint of having let that wig mat my hair. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yes, I had a client one time, she had a weave in for 4 months. I actually, and this is my first time servicing this client, Dr. Rita, I wanted to turn my license in that day. I was like, I looked at my daughter, and I mouth read to her, I'm about to retire. And so she looked at me, she said, Mommy, get that. She pointed to the detangler. Because see, my mindset was detangler after the fact, after the shampoo, conditioner, all that. Not before the fact.
Not before the fact.
Not before the fact. She pointed to the detangler, and I got it, and I sprayed it, and that client tipped me $100 because she knew what had happened, and she knew that saved me from retiring.
And cutting her hair out.
Yes, exactly. So I was excited, and now I use it all the time when I'm taking a weave out and taking down braids. It's automatic. So you guys, if you don't have nothing else, get the detangler, the styling cream. Another amazing product in this system. Now you're looking at this little jar. You said, that's a mighty little jar. That's probably for 2 or 3 people. No, you take and use a little bit, maybe about a pea size, rub it through your hands, and it emulsifies, and then you're gonna take it through the body. I mean, the hair body. It nourishes and rejuvenate hair and scalp, and is okay, not clogging. Easily styled and shines curly or wavy hair. Provides energizing aroma of essential oils with a pleasant, gender neutral scent. And that's important. And it does not clog the pores, you guys. That's what you want to always keep in mind. Is it clogging the pores? It does. It's very light. You rub it through the hair and you just comb it through and style it. Whichever way you want to style it. You can do natural style, wet sets, thermal styling, however you chose to finish it, it's there for you. Very important. And then we have the beard and scalp oil. Men, we did not forget you. We know the beards are so popular nowadays, and we want you to have a thick beard, well-groomed beard that grows back because the follicles are there too. It's designed to help strengthen and thicken beard and hair. Naturally strengthens hair follicles for those with androgenetic alopecia. Androgenetic comes from somebody in the family. It's the genes. It could be mother, could be father, could be both. Either way it goes, it's happening, and both is just going to be accelerated. So men, get your beard and scalp oil and make it happen for you. I mean, we got to stop this hair loss. It is at an all-time epidemic. And when people say, I didn't know about alopecia, 51% of the hair is already gone by the time you realize it is gone. Some of the people that I was scoping on the day I was doing scalp scanning, they looked at their scalps from the microscopic point of view, and they was like, God, I didn't know my scalp looked like this. I didn't know my pores was that far apart, because that was an indication they had lost the hair from one pore to the next, the space that was in between. And they was like, I didn't know that, because you know what? You really don't know. That's why I tell people, use our product, use the hemp powered hair. Although you think you got a full head and look good now, it may not be that way tomorrow. So get it, because of the stresses that Dr. Rita shared with us earlier, and the couple with the stress that we put the hair through once it comes above the scalp, all of those different stresses is not good. And then this is a good one here, Ooh Body Oil. People, every time I finish with a client, I spray some in her hand and having to rub it, because it's not only good for the hair, it snuck in as a hair product, but because I said we got to have something to buffer this heat that we're putting on the hair. And the Oud Body Oil, intense moisture body oil spray, is a royal nutrient Oud bergamot body spray infused with all natural oils for men and women. It is fast absorbent and gives your skin an illuminating glow as it restores moisture and treats dry skin. Now, remember, hair is an appendage of skin. So the same thing it would do for the skin, it's doing for the hair. And we realized that it was great for doing thermal styling. It is great for doing wet setting. If you're doing wet setting, and I love the foam for wet setting because it's fast drying. I don't want clients to be making contact with heat no longer than they have to. So I put the Oud Body Oil in my foam and I wet set. I put the Oud Body Oil directly on the hair while it's damp, not wet while it's damp, and blow dry it in. It's amazing, you guys. We didn't just think of one thing. We thought of a system that we know would bring the hair back into balance. You take the other product that we have, brings the body back into balance. We just have a great thing going. We just want you to recognize that, try it, give it. I tell anyone, give any of the products 6 months. You should see a difference. At least I've seen the difference. My hair is back. Other people calling me saying the difference that it's making in their hair. If you don't have the system with you, with all these great ingredients in it, I don't know what else to tell you. We are just excited about what's going on here with Wakana. This is a movement, you guys. And every week when we bring you this information is for you to use. This information will cost you a great amount of money if you had to go to school. Dr. Rita and I went to school for this knowledge, and we're sharing it with you every Monday. And my only request that you come to class with somebody with you next week. Am I right, Dr. Rita?
Absolutely, Doris. Come to class with somebody. But you know what, Doris? I want to talk about alopecia a little bit more, because I think everybody is aware of what happened at the Oscars with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, and the fact that Chris Rock made a statement about her alopecia, and it really caused a lot of havoc at the Oscars and a lot of buzz. Lots of people I've heard had never heard of alopecia. They didn't know what the word meant. But if you could just let us, if you could give us your view on what Jada Pinkett, what happened, what do you think caused her alopecia? And if you can give some more insight on that.
Well, you know what, I heard a little bit, through the social media, that some of it was stylist induced, which could have been any of the above that we talked about earlier. It could have been chemical straightening, it could have been color. I said I would have to look back in her history of hairstyles to see what was she wearing. I know for a fact, Dr. Rita, if you continue to put the relaxer, which is a controlled amount of lye, is sodium hydroxide, on the scalp every time you do a new growth treatment, you are going to damage that scalp over a period. It's going to be, because it's lye. And we, as stylists, sometimes don't even know the percentage of lye that's in the product that we're using, and we don't know where it lies on the pH scale. So that is a no-no. And you continue to overlap the relaxer. You're straightening that hair every time. Every time you're straightening the same hair over and over again. So unfortunately, I hope that didn't happen to her because of the stylist position. But there's 3 types of alopecia. There's alopecia areata, which is patches that connect sometime. And then you have alopecia totalis, which is no hair over the head and affecting the eyebrows and eyelashes. Then you have alopecia universalis, which is no hair on the entire body. Now, those 3 known alopecias, and then under stress, we have traction alopecia. And traction alopecia is where you have too much tightness going on, be it braids, be it weave, even wigs causes traction because it's friction here on the hairline. And friction causes breakage. And over a period of time, you lose. The strand can only handle so much. The follicle is lying 0.3, I think, centimeter beneath the epidermis. So eventually, it's going to lose. So unfortunately, he said what he said. And he didn't use the term alopecia. He just said the G.I. Jane joke, which everybody went right to her bald head.
Right.
And, she's suffering from alopecia, which is an autoimmune deficiency disease that they can, said that he knew. And he knew. They've had beef before, and he should have never said it. But he did, and it happened. Unfortunately, Will is taking, the hit for it. And, but alopecia is real. It is real, and we need to get together and stomp it out. We can do it if we all just band together and make it happen. And I'm just saying, and not because I work with Wakana, but because I've been using the product now almost 2 years, and I've seen the results, and I know what it will do. I'm a product of that product, so I know I can speak on it, speak on it. And I'm just letting everybody that comes to this Monday's meeting, give it a try. Alopecia is real, and it's not going anywhere if we don't help stomp it out and at least be more conscious of what we can do to stop it and get on the movement of less stopping it. So we won't have that issue again, We know what it is. You know, when I heard people on the news said, I never heard of alopecia, that just threw me all out the window, because I'm like, what? But it's just a medical term for baldness. And when you go to the doctor and the doctor say to you, you have alopecia, don't just accept that. Ask what's the root cause of my alopecia.
Right. And you know, alopecia sounds so definite. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that if you have certain types of alopecia, you can reverse it. Exactly. And that's why many of you are here, because many of you may have alopecia. You may have just been diagnosed with alopecia, or you may be noticing that you have hair thinning and a lot of shedding and areas of concern. So, Doris, let's educate them about alopecia being reversible or not.
Yes, it definitely can be reversed as long as there's a follicle that's alive. It can be reversed, and most of the time, if you catch it in an early stage, you have a chance of reversing it. But if we ignore it and we don't really pay attention to what's going on, as well as some of these stresses that we share with you today, you keep that and let it continue. And how you deal with stress also plays a part. You will end up with permanent loss, but it can be reversed. Even androgenetics, I found, it can slow it down. Right. I mean, you may be 20-something today with it, but if you slow it down, it may not really catch up to you 50, 60. That's many years that you've slowed it down and not dealt with it as you see it in some men that just have male pattern baldness or female pattern baldness. So you can slow down, and you can turn around with what you eat. You are what you eat. That plays a part. If plant-based diet, hey, that plays a part. If, you know, eating for your blood type. I mean, when I read that I couldn't have peanuts and watermelon, Dr. Rita, I was like, are you kidding me? But that affects my overall body health, you know, and I shouldn't have it. So we need to find out. We need to get on the flat belly lifestyle. We need to find out what's going on in the body so we don't have internal stresses that's causing our shaft to be stressed when it come out. And then we're adding more stress to it. So hair loss, alopecia can be reversed.
Very good. Well, we're going to take some questions right now from the audience. I do know that Dr. Mitchell, Charlotte Mitchell, did get the memo, and she's got a guest on the line. So I want to hear from any of our guests. If you have a question, any of our business partners, you can put the question right in the chat, and we will address the question as we see it. So we have a couple of more minutes left, but we would love for you to hit us with some questions. Oh yeah, there's another new business partner under Dr. Kim, I see. She's a licensed cosmetologist for over 30 years. So welcome, Terry Lynn Owens, welcome, welcome. And hopefully you have been utilizing these products on your clients. I know I keep my SOS system at my stylist's salon so that she can always use it. And she really does love the program. She's loving how I've embraced my gray and letting that grow out, and really embracing the fact that my hair can be, the status of my hair has and can be reversed with these products, with this diet, a lifestyle, not a diet, with this water and the juicing I'm doing. You know, think about when you put something in your mouth now, is this good or bad for my hair? You know, we always think about, oh, this is going to make me gain weight, but we never ask the question, what we're putting in our mouth, what effect it has on our hair. So it's a really cool thing to start doing, asking what effect this has on my hair before we eat it.
And Dr. Rita, also, we can take our moisturizing conditioner, add the oud oil to it, and comb it through the hair, wrap the head up with saran wrap or a plastic cap, and go under the dryer for about 20 minutes. That's a deep conditioning, and the oud oil is just helping along with the conditioner to rehydrate the hair. That's what I meant to share with you the other day when you called me, but when we was in our suite.
Right.
But
About
I didn't get a chance to tell you that. But yes, for the ones that are on the line, do it for 20 minutes under a preheated dryer, because now you're raising that cuticle a little bit to get that moisture into the cortex.
Yeah. So last week I called Doris because I couldn't understand why my hair is so dry using these products, plant-based, vegan. And I remember that I still have color on my hair. And that's the only thing that we absolutely pinpointed for the dryness. So can you repeat again what we should do?
You should get our moisturizing conditioner, add the oud oil to it, and towel dry the hair. I'm big on towel drying the hair to get all the excess moisture off, water. And you comb it through. I like the saran wrap because it makes the hair tighter to the head, right?
Right.
But you can put a plastic cap, go under a preheated dryer for at least 20 minutes. And then, because now you deep penetrating into the hair shaft, and that is going to give you that moisture.
I love it.
And
how often can I do that?
If you, as often as you shampoo.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
Some people shampoo once a week. Some people shampoo every 2 weeks. But remember, once a month, you need to do a scalp facial.
Right. Absolutely. Well, wonderful. This has been a great, great topic as per usual on stress and all of the different stressors, medical, physical, chemical, that can occur to your hair. And we have a solution for that. We're not making claims that we absolutely have some solutions that can assist or address with your hair. So now I'm going to close it out. I'm going to bring up Kathy. She's going to close us out and give us some marching orders for all our guests and their next steps.
Well, thank you, ladies. That was some awesome information. I was just adding that to the chat. And, I'm sure that everyone got something out of that. As always, I learn something new when I hear you ladies talk about what is good for our hair. So join us tonight. We have our virtual corporate party. This is a great way for you to be able to come hang out with us, really get involved in the culture of Wakana, learn more about our company, our products, the industry. You'll even get to see an infused segment, and you'll come to that that virtual party. It's the same as last week. I don't actually have that up right now. But get back with the person that invited you. They'll have that information for you, or you can get it off of our Facebook page. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to tune in a half hour before, Dr. Roz, our awesome DJ, is going to have some great R&B to get your Monday kicked off. Join us then. Again, the virtual corporate party is going to be 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. tonight. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Yes, dear.
Before you get off, next Monday, we're going to do a live scalp scanning to show you what a person's scalp could look like and do look like a live person on the Zoom. So your assignment is to bring somebody or bodies with you to class, because you want to see this, and I'm sure there's other people want to see microscopically what a scalp look like live.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Doris. Looking forward to it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Monday.
Thank you. You too, you guys. Make it a great one.
Make it a great one.